So let's talk about Elon Musk. And we were talking before we started about there's a hit piece, and let me see if I can pull it up. There was a hit piece in the New York Times. The New York Times is freaking out because Elon Musk has bought Twitter, and my take is that they're freaking out because they presumed that they were the arbiters of truth for the longest time. You know, the paper of record, the gray lady, all that bullshit. And now they realize that they don't control the narrative anymore. And, maybe this is like a billionaire's pissing match where,
Oh, it for sure is.
Bill Gates.
Did you see Jeff Bezos tweet right after Elon bought? Yeah, it's like they're literally just squabbling at this point.
So Elon Musk, of course, I guess he was born in South Africa, grew up in South Africa. So by innuendo, they're trying to ascribe to him the sins of white apartheid South Africa. But this was the funny thing that I thought, and this is a quote from Noah Rothman. He's tweeting this, a quote from this New York Times article. Classmates at two high schools he attended described him as a loner with no close friends. None offered recollections of things he said or did that revealed his views on the politics of the time. And Noah's comment is, beyond failing to support the premise its authors obviously set out to prove, this is how you'd write about a mass shooter. So they're trying to smear the guy, but they have nothing. They find nothing, and yet they write a big piece about it. Is it because their one go-to thing is he's a racist?
That's what they do for a lot of white guys who are just, on the right or right of center. I mean, we don't even know what all of his political views are. We just know that he doesn't follow the left's narrative. So yeah, that definitely is part of it. I think that in a sense that they're also, by proxy almost criticizing like a whole group of white people or white men specifically who may have grown up in, like, if you take America used to have segregation as well. And I think about my grandparents on my mom's side who are white. My grandmother is from England and my grandfather was from Kentucky. Not a lot of black people in either place. Grew up in very white towns, very white areas, during a segregated time for my grandfather who was in America at the time. And I just think, like, does that mean he was racist just because he grew up in a segregated time? It doesn't matter if, his daughter married a black man and had black grandchildren and accepted them with, full open arms and blah, 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 blah. It just matters that he was a white dude growing up in segregation. And then when you actually looked at the article that they wrote about Elon, they basically said he never supported it. He left the country, he even had like black friends growing up. He didn't care about apartheid. He wasn't for apartheid. He thought it was dumb. But just because he grew up in that environment, which he couldn't have helped at all as a child, he is a racist by association with that government. And so I think it's part of the attack against, the white man in America too, that is just like you're guilty by association because you grew up here, because you're not from a black area, because you grew up in this time period. And it hit me when I thought about my own family, and I was like, this literally makes no sense.